guys want some donuts? Do you have your donuts? Let's get ready to rock and roll. That'll be good. Thank you.
We're still live for now.
Hey, we'll see how long it lasts, y'all. Thanks for joining me. Had some technical difficulties, but we're over that now. My beautiful wife, Marie, is going to be the camera person. And welcome. Hope you have your donuts, got your cocktails, smoke them if you got them. I don't smoke, but and if you don't drink, grab an Arnold Palmer or a Shirley Temple. That'll be fine. No judgment here. Welcome to Confectionery Outcasts. This is my brand new series, my summer series. If you are in any part of the U.S., I'm sure you're aware of the heat wave that we are having. I'm pretty sure it's all over. So there is no AC in the studio, and hopefully it won't show up on camera. But we wouldn't have any other way in Georgia. So let's just get started. I'm going to talk about the pieces individually and give you some background and a little bit about the process. If you have any questions, comment your questions so that we can see them as they come in, and Marie will read them back to me and I will answer them as they come in. Let's get started. Marie, we're going to go over to this first piece.
Let's do it.
If it works. Hopefully the connection will hold. I'll get over on this side maybe. That'll look better.
Yeah.
So this piece is called Snake Cake, and it really just was an idea that kind of popped in my head when I started the series. I'll get to some of the earlier pieces from this series, but can y'all hear me okay? Hopefully we'll get some thumbs up. Make sure I'm talking loud enough. But this is called Snake Cake, and it's just kind of a play on words. The words rhyme, and I was gonna title it "Let There Be Cake" from AC/DC's "Let There Be Rock." So you'll notice that theme throughout this series. I kind of have this like rock and roll, some rock and roll puns, some punk music puns throughout the series. And so what really speaks to me with that music, I think from the beginning, was the kind of the Outcast nature of it, the kind of underdog kind of people or beings kicked to the side. So that's kind of why I focus on these outcast animals. And rather than going into this sort of bummer direction with it, I wanted to have some fun and make it pretty much just funny, maybe a little bit of cute here and there, but really I just thought the juxtaposition would be funny. So this one's called Snake Cake, and this is a king snake, and which I think are pretty rad. Snakes obviously get a bad rap along with some of these other animals, and one of my favorite comments about snakes is someone will post or ask, is it a good snake or a bad snake? And in my mind, there are no bad snakes. There are some that are maybe a little more harmful to humans, but most of them have mechanisms to alert you, and they definitely fear you more than you fear them. Some people will probably disagree with that, but they don't want to come and eat you. But anyway, so and then my favorite cake is strawberry cake with cream cheese icing. So I went a little haywire with the neon pink, which I love.
I'm gonna get closer to
this.
You can keep talking, and then I'm gonna get a little closer.
So and this is kind of derivative of Wayne Thiebaud's his cake series. I'm a big fan of his work, the Bay Area artist, and so I kind of layered up with the kind of get some of the kooky colors going on there. So and these are acrylic, and that allows me to add in some fluorescent paint in there to kind of give it a little extra pop. I started out doing oil, and sometimes I'll still kind of do a top coat with oil do some highlights with the oil, but yeah, these are all acrylic, and this is all hand gold leaf, which is an interesting process I'll talk about later. But yeah, snake cake. And it's a 30 by 40, 30 inches by 40, vertical piece. Looks good. Even though it's a vertical piece, it would still look good over a couch. Fireplace would be fireplace mantle would be a pretty rad spot. It's definitely a showpiece. It would be a focal point if you're into some really fun hilarity and rock and roll. So I'll go ahead and move on to this bats or donuts will save the world. You need to raise it a little bit.
I might just take it out. Take it out.
Oh yeah, if you want to. We're adjusting the.
There we go. That'll work for me.
Thank you, Marie.
Yeah.
So this piece just sold the other day, the day that I released the series on the 13th. And this is one of 4 that are called Donuts Will Save the World. And this is going to a brand new collector out in California. I'm very excited about. And it's an 8x10, and it's acrylic and gold leaf as well. And this series, or this part of the series, is kind of like a series within the series, but these with the gold leaf, that's like a traditional Byzantine art approach, technique, excuse me. And so this all kind of came out of these animals as saints. Yeah, you can go to the next one. I'll talk about it in a second. But if you go back to this one, Marie. Sorry. Mm-hmm. The donut acts as a halo over the bat, and that is intentional. Another funny take on on the saints iconography. No disrespect to that by any means. Just wanted to have some real fun with these cute little animals and delicious donuts. Here's a 12 by 24 inch piece, and it's called Thrice Blessed. And we have 3. We have a kind of a crawler donut, and then sort of the Homer, what they call the Homer donut, which is the pink, and then just a regular, simply glazed confectionery. And this one, I like the symmetry on this, but the Thrice Blessed is with this. I added text on some of these pieces, like traditional Byzantine art, iconography, and the Thrice Blessed is actually a term of a completely pure individual. It's I won't go into too much detail with that, but it basically is the purest, most innocent virgin, and it means they are absolutely going to heaven. They have done 0 wrong, and I thought that was kind of poignant with the three donuts over that sweet little bat. He's just an innocent little bat, just living his life.
I really like the colors.
Yeah, that's where I added some of those little pops of the fluorescent there. I like the symmetry in that one too. And now we move on to the pangolin, which I'm sure you all are aware of. Maybe you've heard that animal a lot in the last half year. And we have the traditional, or I guess you could call it traditional vanilla cake, vanilla donut with chocolate glaze and multicolored sprinkles. It's a fine donut right there for sure. And again, this is Donuts Will Save the World, parenthetical pangolin on the end of that title. And this guy, I thought this was pretty rad because these pangolins are getting, not to get on a serious note, I do want to keep it fun, but these are outcast animals and they are treated differently than a lot of, in the media and in reports and stuff like that. So I'm sure you heard about first reports of COVID and all that coming from bats, pangolins, and snakes, and that they're the cause of the pandemic and this, that, and the other. And I won't get into too much detail of that, but basically they are not the cause of the pandemic. We can talk about that if you'd like to later. But the pangolin is pretty, it's in dire straits right now, and I just thought this image of him, this little guy or this little girl just sitting there almost praying, probably unintentionally. Obviously not to anthropomorphize, but thought that worked pretty well with this delicious donut halo blessing this beautiful pangolin. And they got these really cool scales. Fortunately, they're used in a lot of medicine, quote unquote medicine, that is completely unproven, but they're pretty rad creatures.
All right.
And now we have another 30 by 40. Oh, you want to sit down? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Is that too loud?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn. Yeah,
because it'll keep the Gotta get some AC.
Yeah. Okay. Again, if y'all have any questions about anything, just feel free to comment. Hold on for a minute.
Yeah. And if you want to turn that, angle it just to, sorry.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That way I won't be shaking this camera around, waving these gnats away from me.
Oh yeah.
There you go. It's perfect. Thank you.
So here, some of y'all may have seen this piece. I kind of teased this maybe a few weeks ago, and this was called take a chance while you still got the choice, and that's a line from an AC/DC song called "Rock and Roll Damnation," and I changed that to be, I took that title, that song, and turned it to Rock and Roll Bat Nation, and I made these stickers that have the rock and roll, the devil horns, and then I illustrated that into a bat. I made stickers out of that. So from that comes take a chance while you still got the choice. And clearly this bat is having a hard time choosing between the classic Homer donut, that vanilla donut with the chocolate glaze and the multicolored sprinkles, and this raspberry drizzle over here. Check that one out. Oh yeah.
Here, let's get a close-up shot.
Yeah, this one's got some pretty serious texture. I used the palette knife pretty heavily on this one, and really, really happy with how it turned out.
The colors are amazing.
Thanks, baby. And that's one thing I really try to do in this work, as I'm growing, trying to just keep pushing those colors that you might not see, that are maybe not there in nature, but still kind of work. It's kind of loud and outblown, especially on this guy. But it still works, visually. I think it's just a lot of fun rather than, just straight. There's not too many crazy colors in the bat world. I mean, there's a few, but nothing like this. So I just try to push it when there is a yellow or when there is an orange or something. I try to push it through, push those boundaries. But this is a 30 by 40 piece, and again, it's a great. You can look at some. I'll be posting some other photos, but you can go to my website. When we're done, it's willeskridge.com or louderlove.art, and you can see some of what they call in situ, which means the paintings and how they would show, like in a house or in a space. So I have some photos up there where it's in like a living room, it's mocked up in a kitchen or in a living room or in a bedroom, so you can get a feel for what they would look like. So yeah. And little buddy. All right, you want to move to the possum?
Let's do it.
This is the third one in that kind of mini series within the series, these saints. And I really dig this guy. I worked not that I didn't work hard on all these pieces, but this one, he was giving me a little trouble early on, but I stuck with him. I didn't give up on this little opossum, and he's got the classic Homer donut up there, pink glaze. I didn't put the sprinkles on him, but sometimes you want sprinkles, sometimes you don't. But yeah, this guy, this is 8x10, and possums are in that Outcast family for me. A lot of these animals are pretty polarizing, to society, and all in all, they're really just trying to get along. They're just trying to exist just like anybody else. I don't believe they're evil or inherently bad. In fact, opossums are pretty vital to the ecosystem. But I really enjoy this guy just kind of yelling up at this donut, just wanting to take a bite. I'm sure they would love a bite out of that donut. But yeah, they're pretty rad. They take care of ticks, which is awesome. But yeah, that's another Donuts Will Save the World parenthetical opossum. He's a little dude. If anybody's wondering, if you're curious, these 8x10s are $2.50 each, and this 30x40. I got two of the 30x40s, and they're $32.40. And
where can they go to see the prices?
They can go to my website. You can go to willeskridge.com or louderlove.art. And then the 12x24s, there's a couple more down here, but the 12x24s are $777, the magic number. But yeah, you can get them all. Shipping's included anywhere in the U.S., of course. If you're out of the U.S., we can talk, figure that out, come to an agreement. And before I forget, if you want to go to Spotify on your computer or whatever, listen to that. I made a playlist. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. But I made a special Confectionery Outcast playlist, and it's called Confectionery Outcast. But it's the website for that is bit.ly Outcast _radio. It's in a couple of my links on my profile link, actually, on Instagram. You can get it there. But it's got some really good straight ahead rock and roll you can put on in the background. Okay. All right. Got these two 12x24 horizontals. We'll talk about this top one. We got a little hoary bat right here, Hoary, just so you're wondering. Oh, hi Shelby, thank you. And up here, these have the traditional text, like in Byzantine art. And again, this is a play on words and a play on a title. It says, "I do not want to grow up," and that's the Ramones track. If you've heard that, it's "I don't want to grow up." So that's a play on that guy. On that song. And I love this hoary bat because he's cutely sad. He's got this kind of a bird frown, but he doesn't seem mean. But I love this little dude. And it's almost like I just imagine him with his wings folded, just going, "I don't want to grow up," like he can't have these donuts or something weird like that.
Like our 2-year-old?
Yeah, like our 2-year-old, exactly. Because he can't have donuts, even though I gave him a donut today.
His first donut.
That's his first donut, right.
Sorry, I'm getting
Oh, you're fine. And we got a couple of traditional vanilla donuts here, and people go with it's kind of a blueberry glaze, traditional Homer, what they call traditional Homer donut. And then I'm thinking like a mint. Yeah, right, a mint glaze.
Okay,
I can go with that. So, but yeah, I really dug how that one really came out. That little hoary bat, he cracks me up. All right, let's move down to this one. This one is a special one for today. It's Johnny Thunder's birthday. He's one of my all-time favorite musicians. He was born on this day, I think like 58, 1958, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit earlier. I might be a little off on that, but I know today was his day. And he was in the New York Dolls, kind of a glam punk band in the 70s. And then he went on to form Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers. And he did some solo stuff, even without the band. And he sadly died of a heroin overdose in New Orleans back in '91. But he was a killer musician. He was a fantastic, he had some troubles, but he was just a fantastic musician, and I really, really love his music. He's been on pretty much heavy rotation in the studio since I've been doing this whole series, that and AC/DC. And but this piece is kind of dedicated to him today because it's his birthday. And the title of this one is "You Can't Put Your Wing Around a Memory," and that's a play upon one of his tracks called "You Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory," and it's a really killer ballad. It's in the playlist. So in the Spotify playlist I created, if you want to go check it out, it's a really great song. So, and again, for those of you just joining, the whole Outcasts, Confectionery Outcasts, kind of swarms, flutters, slithers, hisses around. I don't know what penguins do. Penguins probably are. I think they're pretty quiet. But they all go around. There's like a rock and roll undertone, kind of a pop music undertone, and it's really near and dear to my heart. It really got me through some tough times, and I just having that relation to know that there were some other freaks, some other weirdos, out there that you can relate to. These guys just getting kicked around and beaten down for just being themselves. So that's the whole purpose for all these pieces, the underlying thing. But the topical thing is just let's have some fun with these guys because they're super cool, man. Bats are super rad. Bats are way cool. Donuts rule.
Say hey to Victoria.
Hi,
and
Victoria.
Dan and Jill are watching.
Oh, hey Dan and Jill.
Which means
I wonder if Doc is watching.
I wonder if Doc's watching.
We sent our kid over next door to Dan and Jill, our best friends. So cool.
Yay, yeah.
And again, these are 12 by 24. These are horizontal, so these look good. I think one of the Institute photos was like it was like a bathtub, and I mocked it up and it looked really cool. So, but again, you can check that out on the website, and I'll be posting more this week. And then this is the last one. This is a lemon glaze over a traditional vanilla donut. Excuse me. And this is a Raffinix. I can't say it. Big-eared bat. I was really into the big-eared bat. They're insectivores. They gobble up mosquitoes and moths and stuff. And they're.
Speaking of mosquitoes, I'm gonna wreck this fan. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting eaten up.
You need to hold on to it.
Hold this for 1 second.
Oh, we're gonna do some selfie. My camera person's got to adjust the fan. We're getting chewed up out here with the mosquitoes. But this guy, yeah. It's got the lemon glaze up here. It's funny. I feel weird without you having the camera. I kind of like froze. But that's the last one in that kind of series within the series of the Saints. Again, donut kind of acts as this like halo for these bat saints. So, actually, forgot this guy. This is a print, and this is called Simply Glazed. And the original, so this was actually the first piece I released. Yeah.
sorry, that glare.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I released maybe like 2 months ago. This was the very, very first piece for this series, and it sold within 24 hours of me posting it. And so I had to let it go to them. But I have prints of this. They're available on my website. If you want a print, you can feel free to comment as well, or shoot me a DM. These are 8x10, and they're 40 a piece. And yeah, that was the first one.
All right.
And now we have kind of on the end here. This piece is.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
This piece is called. You're fine. This piece is called the Holy Trinity, and it's a triptych. All three. There's 3 panels, and it's a traditional 3-panel piece. And in art, there's like what's called the diptych and the triptych. And it's traditionally it's in Byzantine or liturgical art and kind of religious art. And it's a piece that it's considered a single piece, but it's made up of multi-panels. So like a diptych dies 2, triptych is 3. And what am I? I just hope people understand. I'm just trying to explain.
No, I'm being immature. Go ahead.
Yeah. So sometimes they were hinged together. A lot of times they were hinged together. But now it's a thing. You can just have 3 actually separate pieces, but they are together. So, and this one, another one that just came to my mind, came into my head when I thought of the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity being a play, obviously on the religious Holy Trinity, but for me, it's donuts, blueberry pie, and chocolate cupcakes, all surrounded, guarded by these awesome leaf-nosed bats, which are super cool. Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty funny little take. We got
Who's that guy?
yeah. And each panel is 12 by 24.
Just say hey to your friends.
Oh, what's up, Brian?
I don't know who it is.
Oh, yeah, I don't know some of the tags.
Yeah.
Oh, he's I guess he joined his company account for a second. Yeah. This guy I really dug, or really did. He's got some nice texture in there, and some really cool color. That blueberry pie really kicked my butt, and I worked very, very hard on it because getting these to make sense for each weave was really tricky, but really fun, really good challenge. And again, I really dig the symmetry on this. And these guys on the end with their wings, it's almost like they're kind of guarding everything, Yeah. I'll talk a little bit about the gold leaf, and then we'll go to this piece. Sorry. We're getting too low.
If it's shaky, it's because I'm itching.
Okay. So you want to put on the tripod?
Yeah, let's do that if you're going to stand and talk. You need to stand right there?
Yeah, we'll do this guy. All right. Go back to this piece. Okay. Mind frame.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are they gonna be able to hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hey!
I gotcha.
got the fan on. I hope y'all are listening to my super rad Spotify playlist.
Yeah, I got some thumbs up. We're good.
So yeah, I'll just talk real quickly about gold leaf. Gold leaf is a traditional gilding is a traditional technique in Byzantine art and a lot of other styles of art. I derive mine from the Byzantine era, and it's sheets of metal of gold that has been hammered. You know, now they have presses like roll presses, but traditionally it was hammered down into thin sheets of 5x5 sheets. Thinner than like way thinner than tissue. I mean, just like thin. Because gold is super malleable, but with these sheets, they're so light at that point because they've been pressed down so thinly that they're so light that if you can't have any kind of air. I wear a mask a lot of times because my breath will just like blow the gold leaf away, and then it's on the floor and or whatever. So it's a very tedious process, and it's meditative, and it's a nice kind of change from the way I kind of paint. Where I paint, I paint kind of thick and with brush marks and palette knife here and there and real thick and kind of aggressive on purpose. And so then that's a nice change from doing that and going into this kind of like, okay, I put on maybe some classical music. You need to go inside, baby? Yeah. Okay. Put on some classical music, or just something a little more atmospheric, maybe some soundscape stuff. Just for a moment, and just gently lay down these sheets of gold. You put on this special adhesive on the canvas or wood panel, whatever it may be, and you have to let that dry, become tacky. And once that is, you wear special gloves, like these microfiber gloves, and lay it down. Sometimes I'll use a brush, what they call a mop. There's my microfiber glove right there, and then I got a mop to kind of burn it, what they call burnish, or just kind of finish laying it down. And it grabs right away. So like once you lay it down, then you can't reposition it. It's so if it's kind of folded on itself, so be it. And then you got to just patch in what you left out or whatever, or what you missed. Dave, you can go in.
Thank you.
Okay. But it's these 5-inch squares that you just lay down piece by piece by piece. So it's really cool. It can take a lot of time, and it's very tedious, but I enjoy it. So it's like I said, it's a nice kind of juxtaposition going from that, and then going to like cranking up the Ramones or Public Enemy or whatever when I go into painting kind of aggressively. That's a gold leaf is a really fun process. This will be it's not the end of gold leaf with this series, but I will be moving to something else. I've been doing it a lot for a while, and I cherish it. I will still be doing some gold leaf here and there, but I am after this series, I'll be taking a break. So feel free to inquire about any of these pieces. It might be the last of it. It's on the downhill for the gold leaf for right now. So anyway, we go to this.
Yeah.
Piece. Any questions, anybody? Y'all still hear me okay? And this, how's that look?
Take it off this and put you close.
So this is the Grand Poobah, the mother load.
Step up.
This was my, oh yeah, sorry. This piece is entitled "We Sold Our Souls for Cinnamon Rolls." If any of you Black Sabbath fans out there get that. And again, another play on rock and roll culture, but with a fun, hilarious twist. Hey, twist, cinnamon roll.
There you go.
Yeah, I was really, really happy with these cinnamon rolls. To me, crack me up. And again, we've got the leaf-nosed bats, 3 different species. I will have to look them up again. I get them mixed up. There's over 1,400 species of bats, so it's easy to get confused, and a lot of them kind of look similar. So it's hard to keep up with all the different species, but I have a reference book that I frequent.
What's the size of this piece?
This one's 36 by 72.
It's huge.
It's a big
Get the
piece.
whole
Yeah,
thing.
I'm 6
There we go.
feet tall, so it's basically one of the. This is how far you should stay away from people right now. You should stay one of these paintings away from everybody. And it's 36 tall. This would be killer in the living room over a couch. That would be a fun piece.
How long did it take you to do this piece?
This one's, probably, I'm gonna say like 2 months. I mean, I always have multiple paintings going on at the same time, but yeah, probably, I've been working on this whole series for, how long, Marie? Like 3 months, 4 months?
Since you started it right after,
that was the first piece.
You started
there,
it.
So.
Yeah, you started it right before we quarantined on Friday, March 13th. So
yeah, probably 3 months. I've been working on all these pieces.
This was your quarantine project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see, and this is common. You'll see this in gold leaf. You can kind of see the edges of the gold leaf. See that there's a straight line right where was that seam, and it's unavoidable. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. It's just that's the nature of gold leaf. You can kind of see some of the squares. Really dig that piece.
Yeah.
Reveal, y'all. This is our beautiful backyard that I didn't get around to mowing today, but Marie did some weed eating, and I'm going to give y'all the big. Oh, real quick. Yeah. So there's 12 pieces in this series, and if you've been following along, I've been talking about how I had a baker's dozen, also known as the devil's dozen, and that's 13 pieces. So there's a 13th piece. In 13th century Europe, there was a heavy penalty for any bakers that shortchanged customers. So what they would do is they would give an extra piece after the regular dozen, as a gift or as just to make sure that they wouldn't get any. They weren't shortchanging on the weight of whatever they were baking. So in bread making, they would actually add a whole other loaf. And that 13th loaf is called the Vantage loaf. So I have a Vantage piece for you guys to show you if you want to come around. been working on this one since the beginning of the quarantine as well. But I just finished it this morning. Don't tell anybody. But I finally finished our shed mural. On? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We're getting farther away from our piece. But what I'll do is, if it still works, I'll take a photo to show you guys. We're just getting kind of far away from the house. But what I do want to talk about is this. I've retitled this one. It's similar to one of the pieces in there, but I've titled this one "Echolocate Your Heart." And this is another mural. It's kind of I guess you could call it a family mural or a dedication to our family. And this bat is sending out his echo location, which is donuts. And we have my favorite donut, which is just a kind of the Homer donut. Marie doesn't have a favorite donut, but she said she likes blueberry and lemon glaze, so I made her a blueberry lemon glaze there in the middle. And then Doc has never had it. Well, he had a donut today, but
There you go. Sorry, we paused for a second. We have a bad connection out here. So Doc has never had a donut.
So Doc has never had a donut.
Step in there.
Doc has never had a donut, and so I imagine him just kind of being all over the place. So I just made the vanilla with the chocolate and like a rainbow of sprinkles. But you'll see that. I got a time lapse for that one. I'll share with everybody and post a photo of it. Photo of some of the details and stuff. One other thing I want to mention. That's the shed mural. I am available for murals if you want. Now's a good time. It's as we're heading to the middle of summer, it's a good time to. Winter's kind of tricky with paint, for mural paint.
Yeah.
If you got a kid's room or something, doesn't have to be bats, doesn't have to be donuts, but I am available for mural work. If you see anything in here, please DM me. You can go to my website, louderlove.art, or willeskridge.com to see some more photos of the work. You can direct message me if you're interested in any of the pieces. And if there's something you would like to have commissioned, I'm available for commissions. If you have an idea for, an animal and a food item or something like that, we can let's talk. We can totally do that. But ultimately, I really want to thank everyone for watching, for coming, coming out, virtually to the opening. I really appreciate it. I've been working hard on this series, and I appreciate all the support, all the shares everybody has done, all the likes, comments, and just all the general support. I want to thank my wife, Marie, for putting up with my craziness and kind of taking Doc when I really needed her to. And thank you all. Confectionery Outcasts is truly out of the bag. Let's get some louder love into y'all's homes. All right.
We're gonna do one last.
Let's do one last walkthrough. And if anybody wants to come and visit these pieces in person, we can do that. We can totally do that and do it socially distanced. Like, we can do that safely. There's enough room in here. It's totally cool. That is no problem if you want to see these in person. We can work that out. Just let me know.
You said didn't do that when you were.
Yeah.
It's at the end.
I should get a repeater out here, I guess.
I will not be upset if this one does not sell.
Oh, you want that one?
I will not be upset if no one buys that.
Oh, and also, be sure to support your local donut shops. And build bat houses.
Why don't you have yourself one of those donuts?
I might.
Treat yourself here, sir. That was so good.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go for this.
I think Doc is watching.
Hey, Doc.
Ask Jill if he's watching. Ask him to do the snake for you. We love you, buddy. We'll see you in a second.
Oh man, go get your donuts. Thank you. Thank you, Zombie Coffee and Donuts. Simply glazed with some Oreos. All right.
All right. That's it, right?
Yeah. Thank y'all. WillEskridge.com.